Philosophers have said that there are only 7 stories we keep repeating throughout history. Tonight, we're gonna pick one and tell it again. This is The Treatment, a podcast about stories with your hosts Billy Beck, Cody Beck, and Mark Lucas. The Treatment is filmed inside of a live studio audience.
Back in that audience, we are ready to spin another tale based on some obscure poem from the 1640s that Mark found written on the wallpaper in his basement. But before we do that, I believe we had some glowing reviews from our last film, which was Strongman, based on David and Goliath.
That's right. From the New York Times. Strongman is not a picture to be easily forgotten. 7 out of 10.
Very succinct. Succinct. Very succinct.
That liquid's working real well for you right now.
I can pronounce words.
Hey Bill, what's on the spinning circle of stories tonight?
Oh boy, words to pronounce on the circle today. We have Little Bo Peep, Cinderella, Jack and Jill, Hercules, The Tortoise and the Hare, The Brave Little Tailor, Beauty and the Beast, Snow Queen, and Pandora. Shall we give it a spin?
Let's.
Son of a bitch. It's landed on Jack and Jill, which is the one I added last week after we did David and Goliath.
Oh, somebody else got 2 in a row, and it's not me.
Oh, boy. So I guess I need to tell the story of Jack and Jill.
Yeah.
All right, so there's these 2 guys. One's Jack and one's Jill, and guys is non-binary. And they go up a slope of sorts. Perhaps a knoll, less than a mountain. We'll call it a hill, because they need some water. So they take their bucket to go fill it with the water, and something happens. Oh yeah, they fall and die? Is that what happens? No, Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down and broke his crown, and Jill came tumbling after.
So really, we don't know if Jill was injured or not.
I like to imagine she goes down like in A Princess Bride, when Wesley goes down the hill and Buttercup is like, all right, me too, wee!
As one of the wonderful Wikipedians, I did not know this. There's 2 other verses.
The fuck are you talking about?
Multiple
oh my god, we have
verses.
something.
Up Jack got, and home did trot as fast as he could caper. Went to bed to mend his head with vinegar and brown paper. Jill came in, and she did grin to see his paper plaster. Mother, vexed, did whip her next for causing Jack's disaster.
Interesting. Okay. So Jack and Jill hates women.
I'm also seeing something from 1791 that gives the kind of maxim behind this story as the more you think of dying, the better you will live.
What?
I don't know. I'm just reading. This is from 1791, Mother Goose's Melody. The more you think of dying, the better you will live. There's also other versions that really, really change things up, that have, like, nothing to do with, fetching the water and falling down.
Apparently, there's a version of it from Boston in the 1850s, and it's a warning against social climbing.
What the fuck?
By this we see that folks should be contented with their station and never try to look so high above their situation.
That was written by a fucking billionaire. Or a cop. Alright. Okay. So if we want to stick with, and we can always not, but if we want to stick with, like, the basic structure of the poem, as short and simple as it is, you have 2 characters on a fetch quest. Whether or not they succeed is irrelevant, because one gets injured in some way, and then upon their return, the uninjured party is blamed for the injury. So I think there's your 3 acts of a, I mean, it can be, like, I was gonna say, like, a dark fantasy, but also sci-fi's in my head a little bit.
Honestly, I'm leaning a little sci-fi, because I'm thinking of the fucking beginning of The Meg.
We're all always thinking of the beginning of The Meg, dear.
Mark, have you seen The Meg?
I have never seen a movie in my life.
Fair enough. It opens on a scientist They are in a submarine and they discover this mysterious layer in the ocean and they break through it and they are being attacked by something, and one of the scientists makes the decision to cut off or otherwise essentially kill the scientists that are in a different part of the ship to save the people that are in the current part that he's in, and he gets blamed for it and his reputation's trashed, etc. But ultimately we know, of course, they were being attacked by a megalodon and he was in the right.
Of course, as we all know.
As we all know.
So as I'm reading the text of the rhyme that's on Wikipedia, some thoughts that are coming to me. Jack and Jill are going up the hill with a specific purpose to get some water.
Mm-hmm.
Jack falls down and breaks something important.
His head.
And Jill, it doesn't say Jill fell, it says Jill came tumbling after him. I think the picture that's forming in my head, the very simplified version, is like these kids going up to get water from the well. He falls and in a way that hurts him. She doesn't recognize. She thinks he's just having a fun little roll down the hill. And so she also has a fun little roll down the hill and doesn't understand that he is injured in any way. Then when they get to the bottom of the hill, Jack gets up and stumbles home as quickly as he can and lays down to try and fix it. So when Jill comes in, she's like, "Oh, this is a fun game we're playing." And Mom's like, "That's fucked up. Your brother's like really badly hurt and you're playing funny games?" And then she gives him a whooping. So I feel like it's kind of open why Jack falls and if Jill causes him to fall, but she does get punished for it as if she did.
Mm-hmm.
So, not to be full fantasy with it, but hearing you describe it that way makes me think changeling? Maybe Jill is not human? Like, changeling in the... You're making a weird face, Bill. So, changeling in the traditional Fae sense
I gotcha. It's just it's a route I did not expect.
Yeah.
Nimona.
Yeah.
It's basically the way back in the past parts of Nimona.
It's the 10th anniversary, by the way, this year.
Spoiler alert for a 10-year-old movie.
No, the movie's only 2.
To avoid Nimona spoilers, skip to right now.
Well done.
So does this shake anything loose in terms of our ways of thinking or approaching this story?
I still like the idea of sci-fi because like I started having like a gem of something forming, but I feel like we have to bring up the elephant in the room that this is one of the Jack stories.
It is.
And we have an established Jack. I could see us fitting it into that like West Virginia coal country aesthetic that we had, but I feel like we could have more fun with it going elsewhere. But I have to put that on the table before we proceed.
Yeah, I think if we would choose to put it in there, that is definitely a universe where we would have to go fantasy with it and almost lean into like the old spooky Appalachian myths, which I am not super familiar with, but that would be like the vibe that I would want to squeeze into it. I think it would be more fun to do almost Jill is an alien. Maybe even a little Jersey Devil. Something like that.
So the sci-fi idea that I was brewing, and I think it might be compatible with yours, is a deep space expedition to find either a planet that can sustain life or to deliver terraforming equipment to a planet that will sustain life once terraformed. Something along those lines. A
la the first Ridley Scott sequel? Prequel?
Jeez, it's been too long.
Not Prometheus, the next one.
Covenant?
Yes.
It's been too long.
The mission that they're on that gets interrupted by aliens is to deliver terraforming equipment to whatever planet.
Okay.
I like that idea, though.
So, because I'm thinking, like, a pail of water, like, water is life is such a trope, but also, like, it's in there. Let's use it. We don't have a lot of words to glean from, and that's, I think, an important one. So something along those lines, and then where the changeling thing comes in, maybe in whatever accident that metaphorically breaks Jack's crown, that's when the original Jill is replaced by a shape-shifting alien?
Or is Jill a robot? Is Jill some function of the ship? Or is that too close to 2001?
I was thinking that's immediately thought 2001 or Alien with Bishop.
Yeah.
I just need to get it out of my head because it's what I'm thinking right now. I'm thinking about Fallout. The original Fallout game, the first quest you're sent out on is to get the water chip so that your vault can keep making fresh water. And a big element in Fallout 4 is the Institute has been making synths, like android people, but then replacing real people with their android fakes, and so everybody's really paranoid that everybody else is a synth.
Oh, a little Stepford Wives there.
Combine Stepford Wives with, like, the Manchurian Candidate.
Yeah. Okay.
These are just the things that are happening in my head right now that are resonating with what we've already said.
Yeah.
And another idea that I just can't shake is that this is one that would start at the end and then go back to the beginning.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I like that idea. Cause I'm imagining
like they're all like seated at like the debriefing room table, and they're all like charred and fucked up and like exhausted, and like, okay, so how did we get here?
What if we sort of split the difference between the two ideas in terms of maybe the mission that they're on is seeking water? They're not bringing water somewhere, they're looking for it elsewhere. Because they're trying to find somewhere else habitable.
Okay. So, like, far, far, far future, they're not even on Earth anymore, and already they've ruined this planet, too, kind of.
Yeah.
Alright. Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't need to have all the backstory in the film as to where maybe they're on a... Maybe it's a space station they're on?
Yeah.
And it's one of those generational ships where no one on the station remembers Earth, and they're still looking for water. They don't even know if anyone's back on Earth. Okay.
Yeah. Kind of.
And maybe they send out little 2-man pods to various systems nearby, and okay. Yeah.
Kind of Moony, because I want that
isolation.
Yeah, I want that isolation. I want that
Yeah.
artificiality.
I'm thinking Moon, but also Wally. So there's like the 2-man things that go out, but also there is that multi-generational ship that they return to. That's their home base. But when they're out, they can't really communicate.
That idea makes me think, I'm just having a very visual, like what I see right now is that opening you described, they're all charred and fucked up, they're just sitting there, and it's just like, how did we get here? And it's just one character takes a deep breath, closes their eyes, and when they open them again, they're in the pod. And that's how we get to the beginning of the story.
Yeah. So to tie a bow on the setting, because everything you both have said is awesome. I want this generational ship. There's a central area, or maybe it's like towards the front of the ship with big windows, and it's like the ship in WALL-E, but that's first class transit. And then there's second class, and it's all the laborers, and third class is just people in cryogenic sleeping pods. So the poorest can't even be awake on this journey. They will wake up maybe eventually.
And are Jack and Jill, are they first class or are they laborers?
Second class.
Okay. Ooh, idea.
Okay.
Jill is first class.
Instead of using the word class, let's say officer. Officer and enlisted.
I'm thinking class in terms of, like, on the Titanic.
And I'm saying, let's not do that.
Okay.
So instead we've got, like, officer and enlisted, which is kind of the same, but a little bit different.
Okay.
Not as on the nose.
Yeah.
Plus, it still, like, implies that we're all doing the same job, but at different levels, and we're doing different things.
I'm not sure if I wanted it to be military, is the thing.
I don't want to lean on this too much, but what's the ranking system in Alien?
Oh, like, like, ship captain and...
But
they're not, they're employed by a company, so it's like...
Yeah, like the Merchant Marines.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would, like, these people not be employed by a company? Because, like, they're not captains.
Yeah, they're definitely...
But there would be a captain.
I would say they're in a lower rung. Maybe there's some sort of opportunity for advancement if you go on this, maybe?
Yeah.
We've got time to figure that out.
Yeah. But at least we're all on the same page in terms of, like, there's some sort of difference between Jack and Jill, and they are paired together for this exploratory mission.
Mm.
I think we do need to decide whether or not they succeed, because I think that does change the tone of the movie.
They have to succeed.
I want to say they succeed, but the breaking of the crown is, like, not an injury to Jack per se. Not that he doesn't get injured throughout, but that's not, like, like, if it's, oh, we found water, they fill the tank, but, like, he loads it improperly, and the seal isn't right, so he's leaking water throughout the universe.
Oh,
like,
I kind of like that.
Something like that. So when they get back, there's, like, 1.5 gallons left in this, 500,000 gallon tank or something.
I'm also thinking, like, no, my thought's gone. Never mind. I like that idea.
So then we're going with a bleak tone then?
No, I think it's still, like, it can still be hopeful. Because, like,
yeah.
WALL-E is still kind of bleak but hopeful.
Yeah, I was thinking, like, WALL-E vibes, but less cartoony and comical, but, like, still, like, the hope level.
Yeah.
Like, we're not going full, Event Horizon here.
Yeah. Like, we succeeded, but we're still human, so we fucked up.
Yeah.
But we can do it again.
Okay. So I guess we need to get the bones before we start thinking of specific scenes.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
in terms of the act structure, I was gonna honestly keep it, like, with the stanzas of the poem. Act 1 is, we set up the scene, or we set up the setting, because we'll have to. And then we get them to the planet, and they get the water. And as they're leaving the planet with the water, that's when the seal breaks or something happens, they start leaking. Act 2 is maybe they realize something's up on their return journey and frantically try to save it, do what they can to save it, take some unnecessary risks to get more water in, like an unnecessary spacewalk or something like that, to mimic his lay down and wrap his head in, what was it, wax and vinegar?
Yeah, something like that.
Vinegar and brown paper.
Brown paper. And then Act 3 would be their return and then cycling it back to the beginning with the debriefing. And that's kind of where I'm lost. This is kind of where I liked the idea of her being a shapeshifter to have a twist or something in the third act. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What if the twist in the third act is not that she's a shapeshifter, but we change perspective? Because the way the text looks to me, it looks like verse 2 is all Jack.
Mm-hmm.
And then verse 3 is, like, all Jill. So what if we basically repeat Act 2, but from Jill's perspective, and it's, like, radically different from what Jack experienced?
Rashomon that shit?
Exactly.
She's telling him the whole time, this is a bad idea, something is wrong with the equipment, etc., and he just doesn't listen.
I really want something to also happen to him.
Maybe there's something fucked up with his spacesuit, so he's not getting his full, like, something where it's causing him not to think straight.
Carbon monoxide leak.
Something like that.
Hostile spore-based life form on the planet. And there's a seal leak in his environment suit. And he doesn't recognize that he's getting fucked up. So Act 2, he, to our eyes, through his perspective, he seems to be acting normal. And then it's when we Rashomon back through Act 3 that, oh, you're actually kind of coming unhinged, aren't you, buddy?
Okay. I like it.
Mm-hmm. So maybe we do go with a bleaker tone then. Like, they've succeeded in finding water, but at what cost?
Yeah.
I mean, if breathing the air makes you go fucky, then it doesn't matter if the planet has water, because we're not going to live there.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking the final beat is once everyone in the room discovers what has happened, they realize that their cargo ship is already plugged in the water supply on the main ship. If we're going to go bleak.
Yeah, no. Forget it, Jake. It's Chinatown.
Yeah.
Even...
Forget it, Jack. It's the SS Chinatown.
If we don't want to go full spore-based life form, just drinking the water fucks Jack up.
I do want to at least raise the possibility of it not being a totally bleak tone. Because there's a way we can make both of these things happen. If they stop somewhere else first. So there's like two possible, things we gotta scout way out in the yonder interspace. And the first place we get to, there's no water and they suffer some kind of accident. And that's when the seal on Jack's environment suit breaks and they're able to patch it. And at first he thinks, okay, that was a close call, but everything's fine. Now let's go to, Site B.
Yeah.
That planet has water. But that's also where Jack starts acting a little bit strange from Jill's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so I just want to present this as an opportunity for us to not take the bleak tone if we'd rather do that.
I'm okay with that.
What if it's even as simple as... I know we're kind of leaning on making Jack the villain de facto here. Villain by murderous spore. But what if it's that the first planet has water, but it's not very much? It's not enough. And he wants the glory of finding enough. So it's kind of his hubris or his glory hounding that causes them to push on. Because the planet doesn't meet all 5 of the specifications or whatever. It only meets 4.5 of them.
Like it's only salt water on the first planet or something like that.
Oh, I'm going to need to kind of gum that one a bit.
Because
I haven't thought about character motivations yet. That's why we pay you the big bucks.
Yeah, I'm thinking I want this to be a pretty straightforward hero story from Jack's point of view. And once we get into Jill's point of view, it's like, no, this guy is fucking desperate to prove himself and get advancement. And it doesn't come off that way to him because he's who he is, but it's really obvious to everyone around him.
See, I'm part of why I feel like I'm struggling against that is that I don't want him to start out having the seed of being a bad guy. I want whatever happens to him to be because of the spores in Act 2.
Well, I don't think that he even is... I don't mean that he is a bad guy. It's just that, desperation will... You want to make everybody proud, right? That's where that's kind of his, fatal flaw, You
said earlier, what if Jill is an officer or first class? What if it's Jack? And maybe he has... The easy answer is his dad is the captain, but I don't want to be that obvious with it.
Yeah, we don't want to James Kirk it.
Yeah, but what if, his dad is high-ranking in a major department, and he's trying to impress dad, or something along those lines?
Yeah.
And that's why he wants to get the bigger fish, and it has nothing to do with, braggadocio until the spores.
How about, instead of, I want to impress daddy, what if it's, I need to unfuck up? He's like Captain Cook. The last time I went out on one, it went really bad. And I'm kind of on the captain's shit list now. I need to unfuck up this one to make up for how bad I did last time. And that's what's driving him to...
Yeah, you still get the desperation, but it's coming from a different place.
Okay, yeah.
It's a little, have either of you read Artemis?
I can't read.
You could listen to it.
I have not, no.
One of the motivations for the main character of Artemis is fixing a major fuck up that she made as a teenager. And it causes her to turn to basically a life of crime on the moon colony. But yeah, I like that.
That's good. That's better than my shit.
So then, I think the Jill's separation, whatever, can just be, this is just a job for her. She doesn't particularly care whether they succeed or not. She's just this is checking a box.
I mean, in the original story, they're siblings.
That's true. So she's just more chill than Jack?
I would say she goes with him so he doesn't spend another 12 years in prison cryo or whatever for his previous crimes.
Well, they're not crimes. They're just
She goes to watch him.
Yeah, just to make sure he doesn't fuck up more shit.
Yeah.
I believe that it was Paul Feig who described himself at one point as, after he'd had 2 movies that flopped, I was then in Hollywood jail. He's not in actual jail, but also, we're not going to trust you with things for a while.
Yeah.
So his thing, it's he's not in jail, but he's kind of disgraced and looking for a chance to win it back.
He's back washing dishes in the galley because they don't trust him with anything else. Yeah, okay. This is his shot. They gave him a second chance here.
Yeah.
And he's going to take it.
They gave him a second chance with the asterisk of, you are going to be watched, you're going to be paired on this mission with your sister.
See, I'm still not 100% on board with her being his sister, so I think that's something that I also need to gum through a little bit.
Okay. We can always adjust that.
Yeah. First off, I think we all are on the same page that there should be nothing, like, romantic between them.
No.
Yeah, for sure.
I kind of like her being not related to him, but having another job that requires she go on this mission too.
I'm just thinking, in a point for the sister column, it's really easy to paint sibling banter, sibling relationship as, you're being such a bitch, chill out about it. And then from the sister's point of view, it's, I'm literally telling you not to do this because it's dangerous. I'm not doing it to be cruel.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's so easy to have so many layers of misinterpretation in that relationship. And I think that would add to the ultimate Rashomon in the end. That's at least why I'm leaning a little bit more towards sister.
I'm thinking as far as why she's there at all, it's a two-person job. She could also just be randomly assigned, sister or not.
That's true.
Or maybe mom works in dispatch and assigned her there on purpose.
I kind of like that. I like that idea that mom's like, you're gonna make sure he doesn't fuck up. Because then that also ties into the being penalized at the end.
Yeah.
Is any of this swaying you, Mark?
No, but then it doesn't have to. There are times when I don't feel it, but I stop kicking.
That's sad. I wish you didn't word it that way.
Sometimes that's how we end up getting the good stuff.
Fair.
My final piece, and then I will rest my case, is basically just, I think there is something to mine there. It's a built-in relationship. We have something we can lean on in terms of, like, everything's gonna be layered, dialogue-wise. Mm-hmm. Even innocent things. And that's gonna mean we can get more prickles out of it, we can get more, like, innocent-sounding things. You're just gonna be like, why are you double-checking everything I do? I'm literally just going down the checklist, dude, calm down. Like, that kind of interaction.
Okay, so I guess I would say I'll be on board with her being his sister, but not with Dispatch being their mom. That's a little bit too close, you know?
Okay.
Dispatch does assign her to be there because she's his sister, but Dispatch isn't their mom.
Okay. Fine by me.
Because like, I can already hear the CinemaSins guy going, what, is there only one family on this big spaceship?
Yes!
I had that thought too, but it's a generational shit. Everyone's going to be related to somebody younger or older than them because of how long they've... Like, this is not a place where you can just escape your family.
Yeah.
Sure you can. It's called cryo.
That, like, might even be a theme of it. Like, you gotta deal with your family.
So we have our opener, which is the...
Just imagining Jack and Jill sitting at a stainless steel table in a briefing room. Completely disheveled. Like, various injuries hastily wrapped and taken care of. Movie black eye, bloody nose. Ripped clothing. The whole deal. And a menacing J.K. Simmons-like man leans on the table like, who wants to tell me what the hell just happened?
Okay, I'm gonna back up a bit. Intro. A scouting ship with a big, cracked and empty tank limping into a docking bay. As machines remove the cracked tank, something scans it and, like, zoom 1,000 times to one molecule of H2O and then a green check mark. Two people get out and they're, like, disheveled. They're looking really bad. People in hazmat suits guide them towards, like, an air shower, a decontamination, a quick medical scan, and then into the briefing room. As, like, spacey music, horns and drums, and, the opening credits. And as they both sit down, now that they're a little bit better, like their hair is combed, they're in a fresh uniform. We could even see, like the uniforms getting taken off and replaced.
Mm-hmm.
And then as they sit down, that's when we get, like, maybe the chair turns around, or he, fists on the table, and the first line of dialogue. So which one of you's gonna go first?
Yeah.
I feel like there should also be on the table, like, something. Like, a display of the broken instruments from their ship, or something.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also, I would like there be a clear pane of glass or plastic between the interviewer and our Jack and Jill, because I want them to still be in quarantine. Because at the end is when medical's going to approach J.K. Simmons and be like, the scans came in, take a look at this, and that's where we reveal it. So I want them to still be quarantined medically. So everyone that's like hosing them down and everything as they're getting off the ship is in hazmat. And that's a legit space thing. Like, they do that to real astronauts when they get back from the moon.
Yeah.
So
I think the only thing I would want to change is that when they're getting out of the ship, I want Jill to be helping Jack. Because I want it clear that they are still a team, even though he's being a bit of a cunt right now.
yeah.
Jill is trying to help Jack, and Jack is pushing her off.
Okay.
And at this stage, we don't know what the deal is.
Yeah.
Is she just babying him, or is he an asshole? Or does he have space bugs in his brain?
Space rabies.
Spabies.
Sprabies?
The name of the movie is Spabies. It is never explained.
It's like Species, but worse.
It's like scabies, but better.
Because you're in space.
Nothing can make you itch.
Okay. So, they're at the table. Which of you is going to go first? Zach? Jack closes his eyes, breathes in, breathes out, opens them, and we're back before the mission.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
we need to establish the setting. This is where we established, visually with that opening sequence, but here we need to establish, the rules of some things. So this is where we have maybe a family dinner where just the talk explains, maybe there's, a family talks about the news at the dinner table. They talk about, there might be a water shortage, something. They're sending out more crews. Maybe you'll get back on a ship, Jack, stuff like that,
What if one or both of their parents works in the botany area? So they know a lot more about the water than other people might.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. I just also think, I just really like the visual. I think it's from that one Cillian Murphy where they get eaten by the sun.
Oh, Sunshine.
Sunshine. That visual of, one room that is just beautiful and lush and green and everything else is sterile space.
Yeah.
That's not that Cillian Murphy movie, Cody. You're thinking of Living with the Land at Epcot.
Cillian Murphy's in that, too.
The best ride at Epcot.
Okay, so dad's a botanist, and mom is either navigation or, engineering.
Yeah, something like that.
Mom's the botanist. Dad's in administration.
Okay. Either way.
I want one of them in administration because just as more of that unfucking up what Jack fucked up last time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, if he's in administration and, I talked to the captain, and he will let you go on one more run on one condition. And then they make Jill go. Maybe Jill's doing something cool that she likes on the ship and doesn't want to.
Maybe, if we're going with the spores, maybe Jill's in botany, too.
Jill's in medicine.
Ah, yeah.
She'll be trying to diagnose him the whole time and can't figure it out.
Yeah. But she has the Mark Watney.
Yeah.
Weird combination skill set.
I want to say no to her being in medical because she would figure it out too quick. She needs to be mechanical or something.
See, the thing with medical is it's a parasite, but it's not an existing parasite. And this could even be a situation where they don't teach parasite. Well, they would have to if they're spacefaring.
That's why I'm leaning botany or biology. Because she's going to recognize there's some weird shit. These plants are weird, but she's not going to connect his weird behavior to the weird plants until too late.
Okay, yeah. All right. I'm okay with botany.
See, and I was thinking mechanical. She likes robots and machines, and she would rather stay on the ship to do something cool with a hoverboard that she's working on. and she doesn't, like, she recognizes that these are weird plants, but she doesn't, again, connect the plants to what he's doing, but she knows that he's acting weird, and she doesn't know why. And it would be kind of up to us as the audience to figure that out at the Rashomon part.
Yeah. Once we realize it's a Rashomon.
Yeah.
His secret Rashomon.
.tumblr.com.
So they're informed they're going a couple days maybe before so they can prep.
Yep.
Because I would say it's like a long, like maybe a year even, a long flight. Because space is pretty fucking big.
Yeah.
I'm thinking maybe he has a girlfriend on the ship.
Yeah.
And specifically because he can have, video calls with the girlfriend throughout Act 2, that when we Rashomon, he's like talking to a blank screen.
He never sends them.
Ooh, I like the idea of her being a mechanical because she disables the calls because she doesn't want anyone else to see him like this.
Ooh, I like that.
Like, they're still being logged and recorded, but they're not getting sent anywhere. Because she is still trying not to fuck him up.
Yeah. Okay, no, that's good. That's good.
I think we also need to decide what their relationship is with their parents. Do both of them have a good relationship with their parents? Does only Jack? Does only Jill?
I would say they have the kind of good relationship with your parents that anyone has when they're a young adult still living with their parents. Like, they are friendly to keep it civil, but if there's a chance to leave this, they're taking it. Computer engineer for her is the word we're looking for.
Ah, yes.
Okay, so we meet his girlfriend, establish their relationship, whatever that needs to be, as we continue. Does Jill have friends? I think it would be too on the nose to have her also in a romantic relationship.
Yeah.
Jill's a lesbian, right?
Or Jack could be gay. Jack has a harem.
See, I was thinking Jill has like a gang.
Yeah, I feel like...
Not like a criminal gang, but like they spaceboard together.
Yeah. She's got her homies.
Yeah, like...
They game.
I don't think we need... I think we just need names for them. Like, I don't think they need to be important other than that they're important to her.
Yeah. People back home she cares about.
Yeah, because I think one of the things we want to put in is that Jack is kind of isolated. Possibly because of his fuck up. Whether that's in his head and he's isolating himself, or he's actually some sort of ostracized or isolated.
I think he's self-isolating, and the only person he confides in is his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Whereas she has a healthy social life.
Yeah. She being girlfriend or Jill?
Jill.
Okay.
Jill has a healthy social life, but nothing, like, that she's gonna miss might not be the right word, but nothing that's gonna, like, break her heart to leave for an extended period of time.
Yeah. How do they feel about each other?
I feel like they love each other like any pair of adult siblings that still live with mom and dad love each other.
It's us against them. Did you see that bullshit they pulled? Oh my god, leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah. Anyone who is an adult and has an adult sibling knows the kind of love they have for each other. Especially if you both still live with mom and dad.
See, I was gonna say, like, mostly indifferent. They live here too. I try not to spend time with them if I can.
Yeah. I mean, that's an aspect of it, for sure. It's that kind of thing where, like, oh, I'm not gonna hang out with my sister all day, every day, but if somebody steps to her, I'm gonna fucking get in there. That kind of, like, protective, kind of familial love.
So getting back into story.
Yeah.
Who's gonna start? The shot on Jack's eye, blink, cuts back to, is it a family dinner? Where we get his background and the info on the mission?
It's right before that. He's alone in his room. Or alone somewhere quiet on the ship. Maybe do the thing where, like, the panels are all, like, an empty meadow and the wind is blowing through and he's sitting under a tree. And then it's interrupted with dinner.
Like a holodeck.
Yeah. But it's also, like, his quarters. Kind of like the room in the second episode of Black Mirror. The 100 billion points or whatever it's called.
Yep. I know what you're referring to.
Yeah.
The holodeck.
Sure. Except it's not a separate location. It's his own quarters.
It's like a private holodeck.
Sure. We'll go with that.
I've never seen Black Mirror, and I've also never seen Star Trek.
I can tell. We're on the same page.
So anyway, he gets interrupted from his holodecking to go to dinner, And then I want to say that this scouting mission is like the next day.
I would give it like 2 days, because I want a day of them still on the ship, like closing loose personal ends before they leave for a year. Because you don't leave for a year on 1 day's notice, even if it's like a mission thing. You know what I mean?
See, and I was thinking that it would be tomorrow because we'll have already done that. As much of that as like they would have. Like they were told about this mission weeks ago, and we're leaving tomorrow. So most of our shit's packed. The ship is being fueled.
They were told about this mission. They were told they were in the running for this mission. They find out they are the ones who were chosen, and they're leaving tomorrow. So we've done most of the prep just in case, but this is like the third or fourth time they've been selected.
Yeah. Because we need scenes of them interacting with their people on the ship, saying goodbyes, establishing characters. Because that's a way to establish the characters and how they are before we shove them in a room together for a year.
Yeah. I think that, they've known this has been a possibility. They've just gotten confirmation that it's
them. Yeah.
It's them.
Okay.
Again, splitting the difference between the two. Because I also want that kind of heightened, like, this is the third or fourth time Jack has been chosen. Is it going to stick this time? How desperate are they?
Yeah.
I have this image in my head of them almost ready for supper when Jack gets called out of the holodeck and into the room. So, like it's that idyllic pasture scene, and then it gets interrupted as mom... No. It gets interrupted, and I want this to be the moment where... So the pasture scene is interrupted with a video call. And it's J.K. Simmons. This is where he gets that official notification. You're going on this mission. Your sister is going to be, the other person going.
What if Simmons doesn't tell him that, but you can tell this is the first spark of joy he's had in a while, and he's excited, and he leaves his room to tell mom and dad, and as he steps out, so does Jill, and she tells him first.
I don't think joy is the right word.
Relief?
Uplifted?
I want excited, but like the negative, anxious kind of excited.
Nervous excitement?
Nervous.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
excited I have a shot, but nervous because I could fuck it up. Yeah. I gotcha.
Your next at-bat after you strike out. That's what he's feeling.
For sure.
Not like, oh boy, I get to try again, but like, oh boy, I hope I don't fuck it up again.
Yeah. Okay. So they find out last dinner. That's where we can have the discussion about, like, we have to cut back on this plant because it takes up too much water and we're trying to ration and stuff like that.
Well, if our mission goes as expected, that won't be an issue.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So then maybe that evening he goes and spends the evening with his lady, saying his goodbyes.
Mm-hmm.
She has one last Call of Duty session with her homies.
See, I like her using a space skateboard. They like spaceboard with her homies. It's not video games. It's something physically active that they're all doing.
Okay. That works too.
Maybe even using like extra vehicle suits, like kind of jetting around close to the hull.
The ship has one of those fake skydiving tubes.
Did you see the seminal classic Titan AE?
Of course. We
Obviously.
have a copy of it on the shelf.
Cosmic Castaway from the beginning. Something like that, but if they were doing it with like with like all your friends.
Yeah. Like the weird football from Starship Troopers. Something.
Yeah.
Or
something.
Have either of you seen Treasure Planet?
Yes. Been a long time though.
Yes. I've never seen a movie, but I saw that.
Jim on his fucking paddleboard,
Yeah.
the I'm Still Here scene that everyone fucking loves.
They all have like their own thing. Like some of them it's like jet boots, and some it's like a big space sailboard. But they're all doing this space sport out in open space together.
Yeah.
Jill and her friends.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this ever gets said or not, but I want two of her friends to have the same name, but with like a different number after it. And I want them to look identical.
Joey and other Joey?
No, like Joey 6 and Joey 12.
Okay. Sure.
And they're either we'd have to find twins Or just do that super cool thing where we film it twice and put them next to each other. Joey 6 and 12 are exactly the same.
All right. So they say their goodbyes. Morning of the mission begins. They go board the ship. I want a scene where somebody jeers at Jack as he's boarding the ship. Like, just some asshole. Just, like, don't fuck it up again this time, Jack.
See, I had a similar thought, except instead of somebody yelling that and jeering, it's just the family waving him off. And after the door closes and, you can't hear anymore, I wanted it to be Dad that says that.
Ooh.
Don't fuck it up.
Okay.
Alternative idea. Nobody actually says that, but there's somebody with a visible injury that's there in the seeing him off party. Like, mechanical arm, or in a wheelchair. Something that is a visual reminder for him.
I think that's a little too subtle.
Yeah.
Maybe as part of his night before, he visits somebody who's in a coma in the medical wing. And we don't know who or what, but we find out later that it's who he went with the last time.
Yeah.
The Triton incident.
Sure.
Just for, shorthand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe, so then when he's getting on the ship, Dad says, make us proud, to both of them. And then after the door closes, don't fuck it up.
Yeah.
But it's, kind of a hopeful, don't fuck it up. He's not being cruel. He's like, oh, God, I hope he doesn't fuck it up.
Yeah.
Also, this is a dumb joke just for me, but I want their ship to be called Ariel.
Okay.
Called what?
Ariel.
Okay.
I'm not going to fight you on that.
I'm just thinking, water.
So we're still doing the 2 planets thing?
Yes.
All right. So I would say the first leg of the journey to the first planet is basic early road trip movie stuff. Like, oh, you have the heat up too high. Stop eating so much. We only have so many rations. The normal shit. Until they get to the planet. I don't think we need to do a lot there other than just basic character development.
This song sucks. I like this song.
You only brought disco! Oh, wait.
Do we want to have them, trading off cryo, basically? So they're only ever awake and with each other for, an hour or 2 at a time?
I think that's something we can do later.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to do a lot with cryo on this. I think that should be an element back at the home base.
Okay.
Because it's a 2-man team. I wouldn't want to risk putting one of them under. Because there's always a risk to that,
Fair. I'm just thinking, if this is a year-long journey...
Yeah.
I also kind of want, again, not to lean on a movie that's not very good, but Covenant. That final scene where she realizes that the robot is not the good robot and it's the terrible one, but she's already in the pod and can't get out and he's started the cryo sequence. I kind of want something like that with Jill, where she essentially forces him into cryo on the way back when she realizes something is wrong and she doesn't know how to fix it.
We'll chew on that. We need to get out before we can head back.
Fair enough.
I like that turn of phrase, Mark. Chew on that?
What? Gumming it?
Yeah, gumming it. That's what you said.
I like that you're chewing on it and I'm gumming it, because only one of us has teeth.
You have plenty of teeth in that jar by your bed. Alright.
Someday I hope to raise some of my own.
God damn it. Alright, so we get them to the planet.
Get them to the planet.
So I would say in terms of time scale, because you were saying, Cody, this is taking a year. I'm trying to math it out in my head, and I'm thinking 3 months to the planet, and then a month on the planet, 3 months to the next one, month there, and then 3 months back, something like that.
That works. I thought one of you had mentioned something about year. So if I just pull that out of my
No,
ass,
we
sorry.
did. We did. No, I'm just saying I'm thinking it's not a year 1 leg journey. It's a journey with 2 stops broken up enough that I don't think cryo would make sense. But I do like that idea for the scene, and we can rip it off somehow. So they get to the planet, they land, they start doing the basic shit you have to do. You set up your base, you start doing expeditions on the rover, out and about. All right, today we're going to go 40 miles north, tomorrow 40 miles northeast, Wednesday 30 miles east.
They leave their ship in orbit in a locked drone mode, while they take a smaller lander, which has a built-in base camp.
Okay, yeah. But I want a scene. I want like quiet might not be the right word, but more calm scenes without dialogue, establishing what they're doing on this planet for months. And
I feel like it's also a good way to establish that they do have a functional and good relationship working together.
Yeah, like they're not just searching for water, they're also doing some science experiments. Because that's what fucking NASA do.
Yeah.
So we'll have a day in the last, I guess, week on this planet before they try the next. Maybe that's when they find the water.
Yeah.
But it's either not a lot or it's salt water. There's something that's not quite right about it.
Yeah. It is an option, but it's not the best option.
Yeah. And maybe here's where the spores, well, this is where the spores happen, right? Maybe he's
this is where his suit gets damaged. Spores are the other planet.
No, spores are his suit gets damaged here and then the
spores are this planet.
This planet. Because for the hope we wanted the other planet to be clean.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I misunderstood that.
Because this is where their stories stay the same until this point. So I was thinking when they find the water, he needs to like open a pouch or something that has some testing equipment in it, and knife slips and he just catches his finger.
He's so excited to test the water.
Yeah. Like he's shaking with excitement because he actually succeeded in finding water. Just a little pinprick hole in his finger. He immediately seals it up with tape or whatever and thinks nothing else of it. But it's just enough for something to get in.
I was thinking it's more like a small rock slide that cracks his helmet.
Ooh, combination of the two. You know how this is something that happens fairly commonly, I feel like, in movies, but like they're walking somewhere and then all of a sudden there's like a dip that he doesn't recognize and he tumbles down the embankment, and when he lifts his head up there's a crack in his helmet, but it's very slight, but his helmet is wet. So which one does the audience pay attention to, the water or the crack?
Okay.
Although I feel like a cracked helmet is more serious than, is like, we need to go back immediately. But that could also be the first difference between Jack and Jill, is that Jill's like, your helmet is cracked, we need to go. And he's like, there's fucking water, I'm not leaving.
Yeah, I was thinking like maybe
it's only a scratch.
His suit says like something like depressurizing, and he just pulls out like a quick patch or something like that and slaps it on. Mm-hmm. He's like, I will deal with this when we get back. I'll swap helmets later. I'm not leaving this spot until we do the tests we need to do on this water.
Yeah. I also want, because this is something that happens all the time when you're trying to show that spores are dangerous, where it's just one puff. I want every time they touch the ground there to be like a small puff of spore.
Ooh, I like that.
Because I don't want it to just be like, obviously this is a danger. I want it to be something that is so ubiquitous you barely even notice it.
Yeah, I want it to also be like an otherworldly color, like a neon orange flower or something. It's just everywhere.
And eventually,
and just as they walk, like it just like as they step on it, you just see it dusting, but it's not the focus.
Yeah, like everything is covered in it after a certain point, and you barely even notice it.
Yeah.
When the base camp lands, it kicks up dust everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And as they're walking to the rover or driving the rover, like they get covered in it and they have to like hose down in the airlock every time they come back in. It's just part of existing on this planet.
Yeah.
And they don't think anything of it until one of the last days there. I'm trying to think of how to get him to tumble down a hill, you know?
Yeah.
Tumble down a hill into water he didn't already know about.
Yeah.
I feel like is the trick there.
Maybe there's a strong magnetic field that's fucking with the equipment. Maybe it's windy, maybe there's too much pollen. I'm just throwing ideas out there till something sticks. Like, there's some reason that they can't see directly in front of them.
Maybe he just, like, knocks, like, a sensor off by hitting some shrubbery.
Shrubbery.
And is like, oh, shit, I lost sensors. I need to drive visually. I don't do this normally or whatever. And then down a hill, he spills out of the rover, cracks his head, but gets up, and he cracks the helmet on a rock on the shore of, like, a small lake.
Yeah.
See, I'm thinking they're going farther away from base camp than they ever have before.
Mm-hmm.
And so their, like, connection to the information processing unit back at base is starting to get fuzzy. And that's why their equipment is starting to get not so good.
Yeah, they're pushing the limits of their equipment.
Yeah. And it's like, while he's distracted with, like, the radio, GPS, doodad, that's when he doesn't see a tricky little jutting up rock, and he, hits it weird, and that's what causes him to crash and tumble down a little escarpment to the shore.
Yes, I like that. I don't know if this is gonna be relying too much on the idea of the pollen or not, but maybe just there's such a layer of pollen on everything, it's also fucking with the readings. Or alternatively, maybe when they get too far away from the base camp, it starts making an ear-splitting noise, and that's why he's so focused on the radio as opposed to the rock.
Yeah, I like the idea of it being far from base camp that causes it.
Yeah.
And on the way out, she can be telling him, let's write this planet off and just go back to base camp and proceed to Site B.
Yeah.
So this is the split.
This
is where the Rashomon starts.
Yeah. Because I'm just thinking, me personally, my headphones have a range, and it beeps at me when I get out of that range, and it annoys the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
And even just being 10 feet away, I'm like, shut up, I'm coming. So I can definitely see someone being like, oh my god, I get it. I know I'm at the edge of my range. This is on purpose. And not paying attention.
See, and I was just thinking of it in a video gamey way. When you get too far from the checkpoint, your mini-map starts getting foggy, and you start hearing static noises. And then if you get, way too far, it'll just say, hey, turn around, dumbass.
Yeah.
And then if you keep going, the game just kills you. I'm thinking they're at the, static and fuzz stage.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm telling you, we should go back, write this planet off, and move on. And he's like, no, I swear, we're gonna find something. Let me just look at... And while he's distracted, that's when they crash.
So, before we continue into his side of the Rashomon, we know that her side is going to be... She sees something wrong with him, and she can't quite put her finger on it, but she can see he's being a danger. I want his internal logic is every decision he makes, he's doing it to keep her safe with his internal logic. Because we've already established that he caused an injury last time he was on one of these trips. The don't fuck it up isn't just getting water, it's making sure he comes back with 2 healthy people.
Yes. I like that. I also think that the helmet cracking and him patching it, that's not where the spores get in. The spores get in because he doesn't let it fully decontaminate when he switches helmets.
No, I think this is where the spores get in, because I want a scene towards the end of the second Rashomon of Jill's side, where she runs her finger on the inside of the helmet, and there's spore.
It comes back orange.
Or maybe the hazmat guy does that when he's looking at that equipment back at base, something like that. I want that scene of, that's how it happened. That's what it was.
Yeah, I do like the visual impact of, the dust on a glove.
And it does a lot more than somebody sitting at a table explaining what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Which, oddly enough, is what this podcast is.
And then what happened?
So, all right, so he's too excited. Maybe he makes sure that Jill stays up the hill and doesn't tumble after to keep her safe, and then does water testing. Have we decided this water's bad?
Before we do that, I'm thinking... I'm still, blocking out the crash in my mind.
Okay.
And I think it has to be something where she bails out and he doesn't.
And she succeeds at bailing out because of her experience with her secrets, or with her spaceboarding. She does better in the crash because of it. She's used to crashing.
I like it.
She knows to tuck and roll.
Yes. Damn, Mark, you saw this already.
What did I see?
You were already knitting together the pieces in your mind.
I think her knowing to tuck and roll because of her spaceboarding, that is very clever. In fact, I think it's too clever. I think it's something that is very much true and happens, but nobody mentions or says.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, obviously.
And then, at Comic-Con 30 years from now, when somebody asks, did she tuck and roll because of spaceboarding? We can be like, you're the only one who ever got that. Yeah.
Yeah.
No one listens to this episode.
I'm just thinking, the idea of her demonstrating physical prowess in a way that we don't see him do, that makes sense.
Yeah. So she tucks and rolls, he rides out the crash as the buggy flips and goes rolling end over end down the hill, like Toonces, the cat who can drive a car.
Yeah. Cracks the helmet, some spores get in, we don't see that yet. He finds the water,
The suit gives him the warning of depressurizing.
She's also connected to his suit and can see it. So that's where she tumbles down the hill after him. She skids down the hill. Because she doesn't know if he's up or not.
No, I would have him tell her not to.
Okay.
Because he wants to keep her safe. Because at this point, it's already started.
Okay.
So, as she begs him to come back up and go back to base, he wants to test the water first. Yelling things like, this is what we came here for, I'll only be a second.
There's just one beat that I want to get out.
Yeah.
He's got the helmet crack, and I want her to carefully and safely rappel down so that he's not worried about her safety. Like, she's not rolling down the hill, but she's got, like, a winch that carefully backing down. Meanwhile, he's already, like, on his feet and testing the water.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
And as she approaches, like, her suit's not connected to his, but they all have that almost like Buzz Lightyear forearm info pane.
Yeah.
And she can see that the big notification says depressurizing with like red and exclamation points. And below it, in a lot smaller, it can say something like contamination.
But they've been ignoring the contamination warnings the whole time they've been on this planet.
Yeah.
Because their suits have never been breached.
Yeah. And to the point that she even says, like, your suit's depressurizing. And this is, like, he was so focused on the water that he didn't even realize, first he looks at the arm, depressurizing, takes out a strip of space tape, slaps it on, and maybe the red depressurizing goes to, like, yellow.
Yeah.
And with, like, 3 exclamation points down to a period.
Yeah, it's like repair at earliest convenience.
Yeah. And he's like, I've got enough oxygen. We can finish the tests and get back. I'm fine. Because depressurizing is clearly the big threat here. Not whatever the other thing it said was.
As we continue working through this, as I'm looking at, we're an hour and 20 minutes in and we're at the end of Act 1. Do we want to go through what happens in order and as each side sees it instead of going through the whole thing twice?
Yeah.
So I would say for this scene, she sees what's actually happening and is trying to stop the decontamination, and he's just seeing her as taking stupid risks and being in his way as he's trying to do his job.
Yes.
So I think that's how
See, I'm thinking this scene is still there. It's still the same because it hasn't got its hooks into him yet. They both acknowledge there was a crash. They both acknowledge there was a suit rupture. We both recognize that it was a temporary fix job. And he doesn't start going kooky until a little while later.
Okay. I'm not saying he's going crazy already, but this is the point where it starts. This is the fracture. This is Jack breaking his crown. So, like, it's not that he starts acting abnormally. He's his normal sibling level of irritation with his sister.
Yeah.
But something's just ever so slightly not right about his reaction.
Yeah. She recognizes that this is a dangerous situation they need to get out of. He recognizes, I fucking did it.
Yeah.
I have my glory back.
Mm-hmm. Or not even his glory, his self-respect.
Yeah. But then the tests fail.
Tests fail? Because I wouldn't want to bring water from this planet back if we don't want it to be a bleak ending.
Yeah, I would say, if anything, they have like a vial. It's like a little tiny vial so they can run more tests on it in the...
Yeah.
Yeah.
So... next thing they would have to do is pack up camp and start the next leg of the journey.
Yep.
I would say, like, he refuses to let her help him, like, packs some stuff up, because, like, the heavier equipment, like, the buggies and stuff, and she reads it as he's being weird, but he's trying to protect her.
Because he's
also irritated at himself for finding water, but it's not good water.
And he's also upset because he caused an accident that could have hurt Jill, not recognizing that she's better at this than him.
Yeah. Is there anything else we wanted to do on this planet before we move on?
I don't think so. I think we got it.
All right. So, the leg to Planet B, Site B, Isla Sorna, if you will. I want beats to mirror the first leg to Site A, but they're off. You know what I mean?
I want him to obsessively... I do want him to take a vial of water, and I want him to test it obsessively. Maybe the tests were wrong on the planet. And by the end of it, he can have used up all of the water.
I want, like, a bit where he insists on making all the meals.
Okay.
Like, just something oddly controlling that, again, he's doing because he wants to make sure. For whatever reason, the word contamination is in his head, and he's worried. And he doesn't want her food to be contaminated. And she's like, why is he obsessed with cooking? What the fuck is going on? Know what I'm saying? Any other ideas for leg 2 of the road trip? That was the only...
Video calls with Space Becky.
Right. So is Jill overhearing a video call?
Whoop.
Or maybe she overhears something that's problematic.
So I feel like there should be 2 calls between Jill or Jack and Becky. And then I think Becky should... But there should be 2 that we hear about. But then I think Becky should contact Jill and be like, he's called me 27 times in 10 days. What the fuck is going on? And so that's when she starts blocking the calls.
Okay, I'm thinking in the rule of 3s.
She starts blocking the calls, but Jack keeps having calls that we see in Jack's act. During these calls, Becky starts acting weird.
And it's because he's just projecting that he's having a conversation.
And then when we Rashomon back to these calls from her perspective, he's just talking to like an iPad that's off.
I also think there should be a bit with her where we see one conversation with him where Jill is like, yeah, I don't know what's wrong with the communication. I'll have to look at it. But we see from her point of view, her have that conversation with him repeatedly. Like, she basically tells him that every day, and he just doesn't remember.
So I was thinking with rule of 3s, and everything you guys are saying is good stuff. I think that needs to be mostly on the 3rd journey. Because the first journey, the journey to Site A, we want to see a normal video call. Mm-hmm. The journey to Site B, something's got to be off about it. And that's all we see, at least the first time, from Jack's perspective. Yeah. Maybe he gets jealous. Maybe he thinks she's seeing a guy. So from his perspective, we see her saying something like, oh, I was just hanging out with Steve. You remember Steve from chem class? And he's like, Steve? Is something happening with Steve? And then the 3rd leg with him and Becky, he confronts her about it, and that's all we see. But then from Jill's perspective later, we see on that 2nd leg, he's like weeping openly on camera with her, and she's like, I don't know what's happening. And then maybe Becky reaches out while they're on Site B, and then the 3rd journey, he just sends blank iPad messages berating her for being a cheater and a liar and scum or something.
Yeah. So, and those are messages that Jill keeps, because they show his deterioration.
Yeah. She changes some settings to, instead of like live call, it's just recording. Like in Moon, where they can send recorded stuff but they can't talk directly.
Yeah. She
fucks with something internally and says like they hit an asteroid or something.
Yeah. He's doing the space equivalent of leaving angry voicemails.
Yeah, exactly. I know you said something about cryopods.
Yes.
But not necessarily cryopods, but maybe she wakes up and he's watching her one night.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Because he's sleeping less. And from his point of view, he couldn't hear her breathing.
No, from his point of view, she hadn't woken up on time and it was time to do stuff. From her point of view, it's 3 in the fucking morning. Or space equivalent.
Yeah. Like, it's fucking with his perception of time. The possession.
Yeah. Any ideas, Mark?
See, I'm still thinking about cryo. And especially if later in the journey when supplies start to run low. And that's when they do institute a on and off cryo.
Okay, yeah.
And that also gives them each some privacy.
Except Jill never wakes him up. Towards the last week of the journey, she just keeps him in cryo.
All right, I feel like we want to dive into that last leg of the journey because that's where the fun's going to be.
Yeah.
So let's sort out what happens on Site B real quick.
Yeah.
So...
I think Site B should be, like, the most obvious perfect Earth clone that we've ever seen in a movie, and he's just not excited about it.
He's too excited about it. And not in, like, a, oh, good, we found water, the ship will be okay. We're saved, humanity is saved, this is New Earth, all of our friends and family will live here forever, like... A little too...
Like, weird, obsessive.
Obsessed about it, yeah.
Okay.
Going back to the hero complex and the wanting to save everybody and keep everybody safe. Maybe he even says, like, we will be safe here.
Yeah.
You know? But again, like, mirroring the setup on Site A and the experiments on Site A.
I have this picture in my head of him planting a flag, and it's not even like it's something that they brought. It's something that he made, and saying like, "Right here will be my capital."
Ooh, yeah, something wild. And maybe he claims it for the ship from his point of view, but from her point of view, it's just like a crudely drawn on a sheet.
It's made from pieces of the contaminated spacesuits.
Yeah, it's like I was thinking it's like a T-shirt.
Yeah, I was like T-shirt or something like that, because I want the contaminated spacesuits to be quarantined the whole time.
Evidence later.
Yeah,
Okay.
they can't come into play after they're off that planet.
Okay.
Just for logic, just for the CinemaSins guys.
I was gonna say, I think I'm going a little too horror with this.
A little bit.
In his telling of it, it is a proper expedition flag.
That
And when like with a flagpole and spike that he rams down, but when she recalls it, it's like an antenna with a T-shirt tied to it.
It's like the T-shirt is like the logo of the ship. So at least that part is the same.
yeah.
A crude logo of the ship that he drew.
I would think, since this is a perfect Earth, basically, that they're finding, and are we going to establish that that's true, or just to him?
I'm thinking this is a new Eden. This is actually a new Eden.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they don't struggle to find water for a month while they're there. They're constantly working on it and doing other tests. They already have the water. They test that day one, and it's clean.
Yeah.
But I would say like they do other tests, and Jack not completely. What's the word I'm looking for? Increasingly excludes Jill, and from her perspective, like the logic makes less and less sense. But from him, it continues making sense.
Like, the shovel is sharp. You'll hurt yourself. You can't do this testing because it involves a dangerous chemical, etc., etc. And it's just like actual water.
Yeah, it's like water on a pH strip.
Yeah.
And it just makes less and less sense. All right, so journey back, because I think at this point we're just escalating.
Just rewinding a moment again. One of the first thing that they test is the atmosphere.
Yeah.
And on this planet, the atmosphere is safe. The other planet, some kind of noxious gases.
Yeah.
But this time they don't need the helmets.
Yeah, for sure.
They don't need the suits.
I think it would be funny if they have allergies on this planet and he's like weird about it.
Oh, like she sneezes at one point, and then he starts thinking that like the flower she was working with is dangerous, so he forces her in the ship for 2 days or something.
Yeah. But she's like, no, this is literally a daisy. We know I'm allergic to them. I was allergic to them on the ship.
Yeah, it's just pollen. Like, any other bits on the planet? Escalations? Because I think that would be one of the last things. Like, the last 2 days, she doesn't even leave the ship.
Yeah.
They find a new Earth, and she's not allowed to set foot on it.
Yeah.
And that's when she gets the calls from Becky.
Yeah, because it's the first time she actually is okay with being confined, because she's like, oh my god, he's leaving me alone.
Yeah. So I think that's when she realizes something's up, and starts, messing with the computer systems and limiting his access to databases and things like that. And
because she realizes he's dangerous, even if he doesn't.
while he's out frolicking on New Eden.
There's the big tank, and your job is just filling the tank. I mean, it's an autonomous pump. The pump runs itself. I know, your job is to run the pump.
Yeah.
It's a perfectly safe job. You just stand here and watch the pump pump. It pumps at a rate of like a gallon a minute. It's a 500,000 gallon tank. Watch the pump.
Yeah.
And then it's when he leaves to take like soil samples and ecological samples. That's when she ducks back into the base camp
Yeah. And starts...
unit. Yeah.
Because we have the main ship up on drone in orbit.
Yes.
She accesses the main ship's computers and starts changing things there while he can't see what she's doing. Because she recognizes something is definitely up. He's losing it. I don't know why or how, but I need to stop him from fucking the whole thing up. So return journey home. We set up the Becky calls. He needs to do something drastic along the lines of disposing of their food. And I also want there to be a fight that causes, like, a physical fight between the two that causes the tank to leak.
He doesn't dispose of the food, but they're running low, because he's been giving her double portions. She finds this out, and she's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And he's like, I'm making sure you're safe, whatever, because he's also eating less. And so she like first wants to blow up at him, and then she's like, you know what? I can work this to my advantage. And she like slowly starts trying to convince him that they should do cryo because they're running low on food. And at the last minute, he realizes she's trying to force him into cryo, and that's when they fight. That's when the tank starts to leak.
Okay.
And that's also when like a bunch of the shit gets damaged. But I do think she eventually succeeds in getting him into cryo. So that's why she looks so ragged and terrible at the end, because she's been running this ship by herself for a week, 2 weeks, whatever.
And that's why he wants her off of him when they get off the ship, because he's pissed.
Yes.
That she's trying to take the glory for his master stroke.
Yeah.
See, I'm thinking, I want there to be a scene where they're outside of the ship. And I think that's when we have the climactic fight that breaks the tank. And I think we can figure out a reason to get them both outside of the ship to do it.
Like a spacewalk?
Yeah.
Why do you want them to be outside the ship? Like, why do you...
Because it's partly because that is the most logical way to me to get the tank broken in a way that pisses water out into the universe. And partly because it's fucking cool. You want to see a spacewalk fight? Do you not want to see a spacewalk fight?
I'm just thinking...
What was that movie?
This is the part of the movie where you're just cramming popcorn into your hole.
Was it Ad Astra that had the car chase on the moon?
Oh god, I don't know. I haven't seen Ad Astra.
That weirdly good, like, movie about a father-son relationship that I think I cried at the end of, but had a car chase with guns on the moon? Anyway.
I'm just thinking, like, if we're trying to create this kind of atmosphere of...
What if he gets it in his head that the water's not good anymore?
And so he's gonna drain it.
So he spacewalks to fucking pop the explosive bolts and drain it. And she gets out there to stop him. And that's when we have the kerfuffle.
Yeah.
And he doesn't fully succeed in, like, completely opening the valve. But he breaks the valve enough that it starts leaking.
Yeah.
Does that work? Does that tickle your fancy?
Yeah. Right. See, I was thinking the breaking of the thing is an accident.
Yeah.
For some reason, he cottons on to the fact that he's... Not so much that he's hallucinating, especially his video calls to Space Becky.
Mm-hmm.
But he gets an idea in his head that he's supposed to be getting new orders and they're not coming in. The antenna must be broken. I'm going out to fix the broken antenna.
Ooh. Okay, so not even related to the water.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that. That's better. That's stronger.
And she starts by watching him go out, but there is no broken antenna, and she knows that. And maybe he's not even as technical-minded as her. God alone knows what he's actually doing out there. I need to go out and stop him.
The antenna he's trying to break does more than just video calls. It's navigation.
Or...
Yeah.
Like, that needs to exist.
Or is it the antenna piece he broke off to plant the flag?
No.
Okay.
I think we can... The antenna's off a rover or something.
Okay.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah. It's just like a broken piece that he took.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe it broke off the rover he crashed.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay. Yeah, I like that.
So he's out there like whacking on things with a hammer. Just pulling some wires and trying to make them connect. But they're not even like connector-ended wires. He's just putting red to blue.
Yeah.
And she comes out like, "What are you doing? You're breaking it." And maybe this is where she calls him out. That you've been acting erratic.
I'm just trying to keep you safe, and you're not being very safe right now.
You're killing us.
Yeah.
You're killing us both.
Maybe this is violent, but maybe she like slams his suited head against the side of the ship and happens to hit that valve and crack it, and neither of them even realize it until they land.
Yeah.
And that knocks him out because his head, he concusses.
Yeah.
And that's how she's able to drag him back into the ship and at least get him down into cryo. Or maybe they have one last spar before she wrestles him in there and shuts it.
Yeah.
And then I think we're back at the beginning where we started, yeah?
Yeah.
Hang on, I think we can plus this scene up just a little bit more. And I think the way we do it, after she smashes, I'm imagining that they're like tethered to rails on the outside of this ship.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what keeps them connected. She tackles him into the tank, and that's what ultimately breaks the seal. After that I'm trying to keep you safe, you're killing us both.
You're killing us like you all...
No. What are you doing? I'm fixing this. You're going to kill us both. I'm trying to keep you safe.
We're both going to end up like whoever the character was from the Triton incident.
Yeah.
And that's where she, like, grabs his head and is like, we're both going to end up like whatever if you keep doing this. Smack.
Maybe even like, and I'm sorry, I love you, right before the,
That's good. I like that. What I was going to say was an image that's stuck in my head is that it kind of clicks with her that he's so paranoid about her safety. And I'm trying to think, how do they get back? Why do they go back into the ship?
You fixed it.
And here's my thought.
Okay.
Here's my thought. It kind of clicks with her that his paranoia is tied to her safety. So she takes a cutting tool and her tether.
Oh.
Like, stop, what are you doing? I'll do it. If you don't get in right now, I will do it.
That's really strong.
I also want...
Because then from his perspective, he can even say, like, she was losing her mind.
Yeah.
Yes.
I also want, if there's a scene of them face to face and she can see into his suit, I want the tiniest bit of orange, or whatever color we decide on the pollen, in his eyes.
Oh, like in the iris.
Yes.
Yes.
Really subtle, but something.
Like, subtle enough that it could be a reflection.
See, it's something that I think, on her end, builds throughout, so that by this point in the story, his eyes are, like, orange, and he's got, like, orange veins. Like, at this point in the story, it's obvious.
Yeah. But we don't see it the first time through from his perspective, only from her perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah, from his perspective, there is a broken antenna. I should have received orders by now.
Yeah. Exactly.
And then my sister came out and threatened to kill herself.
Yeah, I did what I had to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only way she would live is if I put myself in cryo sleep for the rest of the journey. And then from her perspective, she's physically wrestling him into the chamber.
Mm-hmm.
As he's like, no, who will feed you if I'm asleep? Like,
and she's like banging his fingers and shit with the lid.
Mm-hmm.
Like zombie fucking shit.
Yeah.
That's why he looks like shit.
Yeah. And that's why she looks like shit.
Yeah.
They have a physical fight. I know.
Yeah, I think as soon as they get inside, he starts fighting her to wrestle the knife away.
Yes.
Yeah. So now let's
Back to the beginning.
land this spaceship on a planet here. Let's finish this mission up.
Yeah.
So we got J.K. Simmons talking at them.
Yep.
Maybe at this point, because she's telling her story the second time, does he snap or?
I'm sorry. I'm thinking about the transition from Act 2 to Act 3.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So
yeah.
we just got him telling his story. It ends with him going into cryo sleep. Fade up on him in the debriefing room, and that's how it happened. And then that same eye shot that we got to go back to the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
We do it again, but now it's her eyes.
And her eyes open as she watches him tumble down the hill and wreck.
Yes.
Yes.
Because that's the turning point. That's the point of Rashomon.
Yes.
That is the point where the Mon gets Roshan.
Is this a record for most times Rashomon has been mentioned in a podcast not about Rashomon? Anyway, so then she finishes telling her story. We need to see his reaction, and I think that is important, like a really important moment here.
When it cuts back, we see his orange veins. We did not see it in the briefing room before now. Because I think he should be in, like, full body, like, suit or whatever. And when she finishes talking, he pulls off his gloves. And it's, like, orange.
Yes, with a caveat.
Mm-hmm.
It's also revealed at this point that he's the only one in quarantine, and everyone can tell something's fucked up with him.
Yes. Like, he's in the way that the camera's sitting and everything, it looks like everyone is in, like, weird plastic boxes, but it's just because he's in a plastic box.
Like, we even shoot it with just a screen between Jack and Jill and Simmons.
Yeah.
The first time, and then at this point we realize he's just in, like, a Magneto jail cell.
Yes.
And hooked up to all kinds of monitors.
Yeah. Like, this isn't even happening in a debriefing room, it's basically happening in a hospital.
It's happening at medical, yeah.
Yeah.
So
wait, so I'm just so that I'm because a lot of that kind of I've been having audio issues and it cuts out like a lot.
Oh, okay.
So I don't like it when they show us a thing at the beginning and then say that they're showing it again at the end, but it's clearly markedly different. I don't want us to do that here.
Okay.
So,
then maybe when we see the quarantine screen at the beginning, we only see it between Simmons and Jack, but it's shot in a way that we assume it's between the two of them.
Yeah.
Or maybe there's another one between Jack and Jill that we don't see until later. It's just not in frame.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can be clever with how it's filmed, but I want it to be exactly
Gotcha. Okay.
blocked and staged the same.
Totally reasonable request.
You know, I the way I was understanding what you said earlier was that in the beginning it's in a briefing room, but when we see it now, he's in a hospital bed.
Yeah.
And clearly he wasn't in the beginning, so were we just lying to the audience?
It was pretty adjacent to it was all a dream, so yeah. Totally fair.
We're always lying to the audience, but it shouldn't be that kind of lie.
Yeah. No, I agree, you're right.
So she finishes telling the story, and I feel like the way she ends the story is putting him in the cryo, sitting down in a captain's chair, deep sigh, and then turning to the computer and saying, "All right, now let's go home."
Yeah.
And that just fade to black.
Very end of Alien.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then cut back to the briefing room. Maybe she says just kind of something like, "I believe that my brother has been compromised at Site Alpha." And this is where we can have that little camera move showing that he's the only one actually in quarantine.
Or he's in a separate quarantine at least, and we see his veins and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I want him to be kind of balding now that he wasn't before.
Ooh, interesting touch. I like it.
And a little sickly.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't eating properly and he's been in cryo.
Yeah, more than just there was some scuffling. This is a multiple months starvation happening.
He's been sick for a while.
Yeah.
And I feel like this I think is getting very close to what I was describing earlier about lying to the audience.
Mm-hmm.
If he looks wildly different than he did at the beginning.
I don't think it's lying. It's seeing from a different perspective.
Yeah.
He sees himself one way, but the truth is different.
I would say, everything's, long shots at the beginning. Long shots and close-ups of the face, so we don't see how, emaciated he is. It's not lying, it's...
And I'm thinking
disguising.
Maybe they're in, full-body suits. You know, you see those pictures of the astronauts, and they have, it almost looks like a snood with just, a hole cut out for the face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that they're both wearing. So it's not until this point when he takes the face mask off and you see, the orange and the balding and the sallow.
Sure. Yeah, that works. And then maybe at this point a medical team comes in and starts running tests.
I think the test should already have been run.
Oh, that's right. The medical team comes in with scans.
Yeah.
That says unknown pathogen found. We need to quarantine him completely. We need to move him to medical bay or something.
We've confirmed unknown pathogen. He needs to be in full quarantine.
Yeah. And then maybe that's when she realizes it's the pollen.
Yeah.
Maybe they, in addition to all of that you just said and I didn't hear, they bring in the helmet in a bag.
Yeah. Okay. And that establishes and that's when we have the shot of the finger on the inside of the helmet. This is where the breach occurred.
Yeah, and it's just that swipe to the orange.
Part of me wants to end on that. It's not unhopeful because this planet exists and it's safe and we know that it's not that. But it's not, a happy ending per se, you know?
Yeah, I think, Jack should be getting wheeled out, more or less, in his quarantine tube. And it should just be, the family and Jill, and it's well, you succeeded in your quest. We have now found a planet with water that can sustain us. Congratulations. And it's just it ends on Jill being at kind of twisting the poem on its head, where Jill is getting congratulated for something, but she watched her brother suffer for so long that it feels like a hollow victory.
And maybe we even end on an isolated shot of her as she's now the isolated one.
Yeah.
And maybe we see one last shot of Jack with Becky and mom and dad.
See, I'm thinking the last shot is of Jack in a hospital bed in a plastic dome in a dark room, and Jill standing with one hand on the dome.
Okay.
The room is dark and the dome is lit.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
as we hear like a heart monitor, and that's the last shot.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Interesting.
Yeah, I think we have an interesting Rashomon here.
Yeah. We just need a title
So
and some cast.
we've been saying J.K. Simmons this whole time. Are we still married to him,
I mean, kind of.
or do we think we can do better?
I like J.K. Simmons because he's that kind of, like, forceful personality, but also, like, caring.
The alternative would be like a Bryan Cranston.
Yeah.
See, part of the problem is, like, when we get to the casting part, I always go to IMDb because I don't know actors that well. And then usually I look at, like, what's, what it shows me. And one of the first things it's showing me is Michael Madsen.
Ooh.
I can think of at least one reason why not him.
Oh, shit. He just died.
I was gonna say he died, like...
Yeah.
How did I
That's
not know
why
this?
he's like the number one... That's why he's like the number one most searched actor right now.
Fuck. I had no
I
idea.
told you he died.
You told me somebody else died.
No, I said his last name started with an M, and I couldn't remember who it was.
Yeah, and we landed on the other guy that died that was in that TV show, and you said, oh yeah, it was him.
Oh. I meant to tell you Michael Madsen died.
Well, you fucking didn't.
I had a bad day that day, okay?
That's true. Anyway.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, when you type in Michael Madsen, an actual friend of mine pops up as like the third or fourth option. That's really funny. Okay, so I had an idea. Bear with me here. As Jack and Jill, Shameik Moore and Zendaya. Shameik Moore is dope.
If not Zendaya, Lupita Nyong'o.
She's a bit older.
We never established who's the older sibling.
But she's like 15 years older than Shameik Moore, I think.
Oh, okay. I like that pairing.
Let me see how old Lupita is.
She's...
Oh yeah, she is 12 years older than him.
Ah, okay.
Thoughts, Mark?
I'm sorry, how do you spell his name?
Shamiek, I believe.
Shameik Moore?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I don't hate it. I was picturing in my head, and I know I say this almost every week, Sam Rockwell. Or Ed Norton.
Both way too old. I see where you're coming from, but both a bit too old.
I'd love to find a place for Sam Rockwell in there.
I'm coming from Moon, specifically.
Exactly. Exactly, because there's not, like, parallels, but there's parallels. There's just not a lot of...
He could be part of the medical team.
He could be their dad.
I was thinking Idris Elba for dad.
Also good.
And then for mom, I was thinking someone possibly Hispanic. Because I know Zendaya's mixed.
Yeah.
So we're not...
I just had somebody in my mind, and then they very quickly disappeared. Oh, and maybe I've got them back again. Will Forte.
For dad?
I was actually originally thinking for Jack, but he
Oh.
does have kind of a little old face.
Babe, he's 55.
Yeah, I want to cast actors younger than us to play Jack and Jill in this. It's the thing. Will Forte as the captain would be hilarious, though. Oh, Idris Elba and Michelle Rodriguez as the parents.
Oh. Yeah. I like that.
If we do Shameik Moore and Zendaya.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I just stumbled across this, so I need to share it. You know who has an IMDb page?
Whomst.
Theodore Roosevelt Jr.
So he does.
The president, Teddy Roosevelt, has an IMDb page.
A lot of archive footage in his filmography.
And also a TV movie? He was a writer for Simple Gifts?
What? Anyway. We can't cast him, he's dead.
So those four that you already mentioned for the family?
Yeah. And I like putting Will Forte in there somewhere, because he's an interesting character. As well as Sam Rockwell.
I think it might be fun to have Sam Rockwell be the voice of the computer.
I had that exact thought just now. Because we're not going to cast Kevin Spacey as the voice of the computer, and that's our shout out to Moon, if Sam Rockwell's the computer voice.
Yeah. The last character that I think we need is Jack's girlfriend.
Yeah, we need a Becky. Becky with the good hair.
You guys know more young actresses than I do.
Like, personally, or...?
I mean,
No, just like in general. Conceptually. But also, yeah, probably personal.
I mean, I have a friend I could name.
Auli E. Cravallo? Moana. AULI apostrophe I.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Because I'm just thinking, a lot of our movies tend to skew a little honky, so...
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Future space movie, I want to go a little darker.
At least blend of cultures.
Yeah.
Represent all of society on this generational ship
Yeah.
to save humanity. At least that level of hope for our future.
If not her, another, like, young Asian actress. I don't know a lot of them. I feel like they would have been in Crazy Rich Asians.
Yeah. No, I like the...
She might be a little too old now. Everything Everywhere All at Once. Stephanie Sue. She is our age, so she's in her 30s, so she might be a little old. I think she was in Everything Everywhere All at Once.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
I like Moana. I think that's a good pull. Any casting thoughts, Mark?
None. I've completely given up on casting because I don't know anybody.
Fair enough.
And I'm instead using this time to try and get a jump on coming up with a title.
The term that popped into my head as we were talking that I like as a title was Spabies.
No.
Was New Eden. It just isn't super thematically linked to the actual story is the problem.
Yeah, that's the problem.
What about A Pail of Water?
That's almost too on the nose.
Pale Water. P-A-L-E.
Is that an existing horror movie?
No, I don't think so.
What's that terrible found footage movie that's really boring about people getting eaten by sharks?
Open Water.
Open Water, okay.
Pale Water does not exist as a title as far as I'm aware. I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
And then the poster?
The rover tumbling down the hill.
I was thinking their ship full of water in the darkness of space.
Yeah?
His face on the left in profile, her face on the right in profile, the ship with the tank of water and a little trail leaking out in between them in the middle at nose height.
Okay.
And maybe, does he have one orange bloodshot?
Not on the poster.
Nope. It's okay to lie to people. Marvel did it.
It's okay to lie to people in trailers.
In trailers, yes. The whole trailer for Thor Ragnarok did not show the fact that Thor was missing an eye, because they wanted to keep that a surprise for the movie.
Yeah.
How about not on the poster, but then when it gets released on DVD?
Yeah.
It's like the
lenticular.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, we got to make it before we can put it on DVD.
Does this one need a tagline?
In space, no one can watch you pee. I got nothing.
I mean, the only thing I can think of is Jack fell down, and that's real obvious.
Yeah, I don't want it to be too obvious.
I think the poster is evocative enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when does this one release?
Oh, this is absolutely February. This is a teen date night movie.
Oh, God. No, it's not.
Yes, it sure is. Oh, I would have taken so many girls to this in high school if I was willing to talk to girls.
I was thinking same vibe, opposite end of the year, November.
Yeah.
Kind of one of the
Maybe even
dead
Halloween?
It's not quite Halloween.
Yeah, like post-Halloween.
Yeah.
Okay, is there anything else?
I think we got it. I like it.
Yeah.
I want to see it.
It's fun.
I do want to point out that I really like that we made a science fiction picture that was in no way related to our Greek gods series.
Well, yeah, it's not a Greek god story.
Yeah.
But we already do have a sci-fi universe that we enjoy, and I'm glad that we didn't go back to it for this one. Listen to the episodes on Cassandra and Prometheus for those. And follow us at patreon.com/soonmajorpod. Treatment pod.
Nope. Not yet.
And the only thing left to do, I suppose, is to rent a biplane and skywrite this treatment prompt over Hollywood. In the meantime, we've been your hosts, Mark Lucas,
Billy Beck,
And Cody Beck.
and we'll see you at the movies.